Hi, Val. Thank you so much for joining me today on this call. I'm so excited to share your journey and reflect on your journey together. So please do share a bit about you and who you help.
Yeah, thank you, Joanna, for having me. Yes, so my name is Valeria, but everybody calls me Val. And I am Italian, but based in Copenhagen, Denmark. I've been living here for 10 years now. I help internationals and other expats to stop overthinking their business idea and launch it in the real world, which means people that maybe have been thinking about changing their career path and going from a traditional work to having their own business and how to handle that transition and launch something that is effectively making them money and having clients. So that's basically my work in a gist.
Yeah, love it. And I also love it because I know that that wasn't where you started. So you
Yeah.
joined me, I don't know, was it 7 or 8 months ago now? And yeah, that wasn't particularly what you were doing at that point. So can you think back to when you joined the program, what you were doing then and why you joined, I suppose?
Yeah. So I think I joined back in September 2025. And back then, my niche was similar to what it is today because I've always worked with international expats, but it was more focused on the overall career transitions. So that included both transitioning to building a business and self employment, but also transitioning to other work, like different industries, for example, or different roles. And when I joined your program, the business of coaching, I was in the stage where I knew that because I've already been working on my business for a year or so since I got my certification from the ICF. And I was at a point where I tried different things. I experimented a lot of stuff. I already built a presence online, but I felt like it wasn't necessarily super specific. And I had this nudge on wanting to work with entrepreneurs specifically or like people interested in entrepreneurship. But somehow I felt like I wasn't entirely sure if that was a good move. And I needed some framework to help me define what that was going to be. And also having a supportive community of other people navigating the same thing where I could learn from and get inspiration from. So that's basically where I was at that point.
Yeah, totally. And I remember it well. And I know it hasn't always been like completely straightforward because changing niche when you've worked super hard to build up your
Yeah.
brand already can feel challenging. So tell us about those moments because I know loads of people feel nervous about changing niche, especially when you've put some work in. So tell us about those moments when you were like, oh, is this the right thing? Maybe I should go back. Tell us how you worked through those.
Yeah, so I remember that our first few calls, I was getting stuck so much on the actual wording of the niche, which is now it makes me laugh a little bit because, of course, this is also what I help some of my clients with. So it's also a full circle, so to speak. But I was so stuck on wording because I think I was feeling a little bit uncertain. I kind of needed external validation to be able to say, okay, you are allowed to choose a niche that you're actually excited about and you do have that competency to do this. And instead, I think before, because I was trying to do it by myself, I didn't have any comparison to mirror back some of my thoughts and some of my insecurities, but also to give me, yeah, concrete, like to ask me concrete questions around why I wanted to do this and what does it mean and how can I do a transition that doesn't feel like so abrupt, because I think that my challenge was, okay, my audience now is built around these sort of people and those might be the same people, but now of course the result of that transformation is much more specific into one single direction, and that terrified me quite a bit. And so that's why I was kind of hesitating on finding the words to say it and just circling back. And I remember you saying at some point, you just have to pick one way of saying it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to put it out there and see what happens, and then you can refine it later. And I think then I shared it also on Slack with other people and got some feedback. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And then I think that was quite liberating for me to just say, okay, you know what? I made a decision. This is it. This is what I'm doing. And then it came a period of time where actually I perceived a dip in, my LinkedIn reach and how people responded. And that made me panic slightly, not gonna lie, because of course, my audience needed to adjust to the new version of what I was doing. But I remember that also it was really nice to be in the community back then, because I got reassurance once again that, hey, this is normal. It's expected. It's going to pass. It's going to take a while because, of course, when you change niche, as you said, there is a period of adjustment. But things then started picking up again. And then I also started a community around entrepreneurship here in Copenhagen. And now we're expanding to other cities, and it started again. But yeah, back then it was all very scary and uncertain.
Yeah, it was. And it's so good to hear how much you've really established yourself, especially within your local community, because I know you were always out doing events and things. So yeah, it's just a joy to see you be brave enough to take that decision, which I know felt super scary and probably still does at times. So what did you find most helpful from the program?
So, as I said, I think that initial place of being able to make decisions for myself and my business and the direction, but it being supported by your knowledge, first of all, but also the experience of other people. So I think the whole community aspect was very good for me. As you also just mentioned, I'm always looking to be around people. So I need that sort of environment to be able to grow and take inspiration. So I try now to also build it for myself and my clients. And also, I think that I really like that the program spans across different areas of your business. So not just niching, but also marketing and how to structure your offer, sales. Like we touch upon different areas, and also mindset. So I think like I learned a lot for myself, and I also learned a lot by seeing also what other people struggle with. I got a better understanding of my own clients, right? Because they might be somewhat the same. And so for me, that was extremely helpful. And for example, like I am pretty sure that if it wasn't for me being part of this program, I wouldn't have dared to launch a first group coaching program, because that was something that I wanted to do, but I wasn't quite sure how it worked. So just by being inside one, it was super helpful for me to understand the dynamics and then getting the courage to do it myself. So that was super helpful for me.
Yeah, I think exactly the same. Every program I've been in, I've learned more from just seeing how it's run, seeing how the coach runs it, than all of the modules and everything else added up. So I completely hear you. And it's so exciting that you launched your first group. So tell us more about what's different now versus when you joined.
Actually, because I think my niche was somewhat defined, but the fact that now it's a niche that it's defined, and it's also, I feel like it's exciting for me that it's mine and it's not borrowed by what it's out there, but it's something that I can feel it's very much aligned to the people I want to work with and the kind of work that I want to do. And also it's more aligned to my own skills and expertise with my previous work in sales and so on. So I think it's just that overall clarity on the alignment of my work. So that's the first thing. And then the other thing I would say is that I learned a lot of different ways that I can offer my work. And it's not necessarily that I'm going to use all of them, but I think, again, I had the chance to experience the group coaching aspect and get insights on how that works, and also feedback from it, and also launch my lead magnets. And actually, I got very much inspired by your podcast back when I started, because that's one of the reasons why I actually wanted to work with you. And now I am also just launching my podcast again, because I thought it's something that I really love to do, to talk. And I thought, oh, this is yet another thing that got me inspiration from being in this space. Oh, and yeah, of course, my case studies, because that was one of the things that I really appreciated by checking your website. I saw all of these case studies with videos and people. And back then I didn't really have any video format. I just had written testimonials. And I thought, oh my God, this is so much better, because of course it comes from the people saying what they got, right? Just exactly as I'm doing now. And I thought, okay, I need to find out how to do this. And now I have, I think, like 4 or 5 on my own website. And yeah, that feels great. So,
Yeah, it does. And I was so happy for you, because I remember even on the first day you joined saying, how do you get people to say these nice things? No one's ever going to say these nice things for me. And within about a month, think you had like the best video testimonial that I was jealous going, how did you get her to say such amazing things?
Yeah. I'm very lucky. I have very, very incredible clients, to be honest. But yeah, it was great to see the example. And then, of course, I also thought, well, it's such a mindset change that you need to make, right? Because of course, I'm very happy now to talk to you about my own experience with you, right? But it's something that somehow it didn't cross my mind. So I think until you see it other people doing it successfully with, you might not think it's possible for you. And then you see that and then you realize, well, of course I can do the same and I can try. And so for me, it's always that surrounding myself with people that are a bit ahead and just getting inspiration from it. And of course, being part of this was a huge one for me.
Oh, love it. And tell us about clients then. You launched your group. Tell us more about that and anything else that's relevant to that.
Yeah, so I launched the group back in December. So we start in January. And actually, we just wrapped up the 3 months together at the end of April. And it was amazing. We had like 5 people from all different countries, seriously, from people in Europe. And also, I had someone from Honduras joining, which was insane because I hadn't thought about spanning so wide. And I was so excited because one of them built a completely new app from scratch. One of them launched their business consulting operation and they got their first clients right after we wrapped up and they were so excited. And now they're actually one of my newest case studies as well. And someone else also is launching their sustainability consultancy. So it's really amazing of what these people could do in such a short time and how much courage they took to actually do it. And now I am working individually with some other clients as well. And I just started on a few ones now. I'll probably launch another group when the fall comes. Now I learned a lot from the first group and I got amazing feedback. So I'm really excited to do this again. And yeah, and then I continue my events and workshops and podcasts and yeah, so many things. So yeah, very exciting.
Oh, it's such a joy. And that's amazing within 3 months, especially if your people weren't always at the stage of like leaving their jobs and there was all different things that you hadn't been really specific that they were wanting to build a certain type of business. Like that is amazing. Would you do anything differently next time with regards to your group?
That is a very good question. I mean, surely like a few things. I think that back then I was probably more focused on people that were still thinking about this a lot in terms of they weren't exactly sure they wanted to start their own business. And now I think I actually want to work more with people that are ready because I figured that my coaching style is very action orientated. So I'm really someone that puts you in a place where we're doing things, like we are doing them. We're not just thinking about them, we're doing them. And I think, of course, people respond differently to this. And I think most of them actually responded amazing to it. But I think that I can be even more specific in terms of, hey, you're ready. This is what we're doing. And in 3 months, we're going from you have this business idea that is just in your head, but you want to do it. And this is how we're going to do it together and going through all of those also mindset blocks and challenges that I myself have experienced. So, of course, I know very well. Yeah. So to bring it to reality. So the way I speak about my business is from overthinking to launching something real, because that's exactly the type of transformation that we do with my clients. So I think that's going to be even more clear in the way that I talk about my offer.
Yeah, love that. I think it's great to reflect back and really choose your ideal client. And I think we had a call. Were you there when we did the Clear Yes workshop?
Yeah.
And we talked about when the person is at that right stage, if we're thinking about the timeline of it. And I remember you saying that then. So it'd be good for you to remember that when you next launch too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I agree. And I think that was very helpful. And I think really understanding those moments of where someone is thinking about doing something, but they're just like they're on the edge and they haven't taken that action yet. But like that tension in between, that's exactly the place that we need to address. And I think, yeah, you explain it well with some examples there. And I'm now replicating that in my own messaging as well. And I see that working very well with my own clients as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. How would you describe your experience of working together?
I think you're someone that is very grounded and calm. Like you have such a calming presence, even the way you speak. I think it does something to me. I'm a bit the opposite. I'm a little bit all over. So I think for me, it was really nice to have someone that was so grounded and calm. And I also like that you're honest in the way that you say things. Like you don't pretend to know everything as well. I mean, of course, you're very experienced and advanced and your knowledge is clear. And I think it's really valuable. But I like the fact that you're not pretending at all. You're just yourself. And I think that's also why I chose to work with you specifically, because there's a lot of other people out there that are just putting up sort of mask because they need to be performative. And I don't particularly resonate with that. So yeah. And then in your coaching style, you've been always very helpful, even in the group context, of course, but also sometimes I had some moments where I needed more like individual assistance, and you've always been very responsive and ready to help. So I really appreciated that. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. So nice to hear. I'm glad I asked it. It's so biggest takeaway from the program.
So I think the biggest takeaway is it's all about the practice what you preach concept. And I really believe in it now, especially that I've done this, is that if you're a coach and you expect to coach people on something, there is no way that you can do that without being coached yourself, because it's also a matter of the moment you invest in something that is helping you with growing your business, but also growing yourself as a person, it's something that will always get back to you. And I was sort of hesitant a little bit myself, because back then I was in a place of, oh, I've just earned some money, but I'm not super confident in that yet. So making this investment feels a bit risky in my head. And I wasn't entirely sure about, okay, what is going to be the return on investment on these? But to be honest, it's something that is unquantifiable in terms of, yes, you can look at how many clients you got and how much knowledge you got, but it's so much more about who you become and the confidence that you get by having someone to support you and looking at other people and their example. And I think that you shouldn't wait too long to do this. And I'm glad that I did it when I did, because I'm sure that if I didn't, this wouldn't be the place where I was today. And I think that everybody should think about in terms of the return on investment. It will always be longer than the actual time that you are in a program or something. So for me, again, the big takeaway is just to be in the room was worth it per se. So yeah.
Oh, I absolutely love that, especially who you become in the process, because it's so difficult to convey
Yeah.
that it will be worth it. And especially when people are like, well, how much money will I make? How quickly will it be? And you don't know, because I don't know what decisions you're going to make in all of the moments that we talk about. Okay, so which niche do you want to choose, or what do you want to sell, or what marketing channel do you want to do? So it's always really tricky to describe. So you covered it perfectly there, in that you will become a different person, and the lifelong span of investing in yourself is way more than the 6 months.
Exactly. And I think it's also like what you say is it's very much on you in terms of what you put in the program, or like in general, in any type of investment in yourself. Of course, the return is going to be directly proportional to what you put in it. And for me, the moment I invested the money, I was like, okay, this has to be worth it. It was never externally oriented. It was like, you put the money, so you better work it. You better do the work to get it back. And I am honestly pretty happy about all the things that I tried, because I was like, okay, Joanna said that she did it this way. You know what? I'm just going to try it and see how it works for me, and then have a conversation about it. And I think that was great. So again, I think everyone should do this type of investment and find the person that they connect with on a personal level in terms of what they want to see in themselves also moving forward and their business.
Yeah, love it. Thank you so much. So what's next for you, Val? Because I know you're super busy, so much on. Tell us, what's your next plans?
Oh, so it's this is a difficult question because I need to keep it short. But so the first thing that I'm excited about is, again, launching my podcast, Business Sparks with Val, because it's something that I did at the very beginning when I didn't know what I actually wanted to talk about. And so now this time I feel like it's much more intentional and much more targeted again to the kind of people that I want to work with, and those expats in international navigating work abroad and also wanting to do their own thing. So I'm excited about that. And of course, I'm excited to continue working with clients all over Europe and beyond. I really love to work with people from different places and to continue my community for entrepreneurs, as I said, in Copenhagen. And now we are soon going to expand to Amsterdam. So that's also exciting. And yeah, and just in general, to keep growing and learning and see what this journey is all about, and just share my own experiences and learnings with others, because I think that's the main point of why I'm doing this. So
Yeah, and where's the best place for people to find you if there are expats listening that want to connect?
yeah. So I'm very active on LinkedIn, and I'm always happy to chat there. So you can find me at Valeria Kadelski on LinkedIn. And then otherwise, my website, sparkcoachingwithval.com. There I have a bunch of information and also resources, both free and the links to my other pages. So I think that's the best place to go.
Love it. And if there's a coach listening and wanting to be where you are now, what would be your parting words for them?
Yeah, so I would say just think of this as your business and not just you being a coach. It's a business, so you need to make business type of investments. So that means that you need to put in your business the resources that you want to then see coming out of and returning back to you. And I think that if I am where I am today is because throughout I've always looked into what other people are doing, taking inspiration, taking what I can and just making it mine, and then building my own version of things with my own perspective. So yeah, I would say don't wait too much, don't overthink these things too much, and just try and do it and get support. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Val. You are one of my, well, I'm allowed to say you're my favorite client, probably not.
I'll take it. It's recorded. You said it. I'm taking it. Yes.
But you're super proactive. You asked for help, but you're also reflective. You didn't go, well, you told me this and it didn't work. You tried things, like you said, experimented, figured out what shifts you would want to make it work for you. And you were self-responsible. Is that even a word? But you were just amazing, making it easy for me to work with you over the last 8 months or so. So thank you again.
Thank you, Joanna, for having me and for all of your help, of course.